The number of processes for investment application will be cut down in an effort to expedite approvals and boost the country's economic growth. Prime Minister Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad said traders and investors faced difficulties as they had to go through a long and tedious process before getting approval to invest.
Kita juga telah ada one-stop center, but even one-stop center pun tak dapat percepatkan proses. So now the KSN has been instructed to reduce the number of processes and the number each agency will look into in order to reduce the time taken for giving the approval for any investment in the construction center.
He said the Chief Secretary to the Government, Datuk Seri Dr. Ismail Bakar, had been instructed to revisit and reduce the number of processes as well as the agencies involved in deliberating investments proposals. This, Dr. Mahathir said, would reduce the time taken for approval in the industrial and construction-related sectors. He cited an example of an application for a housing construction project which took up to 3 years for approval, impacting a high cost on the developers. Meanwhile, Dr. Mahathir said poverty issues among paddy farmers and food security get top attention from the government. He added among the factors that contributed to the poverty among paddy farmers were that they were too dependent on subsidy and not being efficient in fully utilising their land holding.
Di masa yang sama, kita kalau we want to overcome paddy farmers punya poverty, kita tidak boleh paksa mereka hanya menanam padi. Mereka boleh ada other crops yang boleh beri pulangan yang lebih baik. Umpamanya cash crops yang mana boleh harvest 3 kali, 4 kali setahun dan memberi pulangan yang lebih baik daripada penanaman padi.
He said this after chairing the Economic Action Council meeting in Putrajaya earlier today. The government, he said, had allocated more than 1.8 billion ringgit per year to subsidize 200,000 paddy farmers and needed to import $60 billion of food per year. Bursa Malaysia Berhad aims to attract more retail investors into the equity market with the launch of Bursa Anywhere, the first mobile depository e-services application in the Southeast Asian region. Its Chief Executive Officer, Datuk Muhammad Umar Swift, said currently the ratio between institutional and retail investors in Malaysia's equity market stood at 75-25.
In that same context, the Malaysian market is different from every other market. There isn't one, if you like, there isn't one ratio that applies across all marketplaces. You have to recognise the uniqueness of your home market. So we're currently running at, say, 75-25. We'd like to take a long-term view at 70-30. That's an internal target, and that's what we're encouraging.
Bursa Anywhere allows individual investors to access a wide range of central depository services, CDS, anywhere, anytime. It provides a consolidated view of investors' CDS accounts, showing the market-to-market value of their portfolios for retail investors to manage all things on Bursa Malaysia. The local bourse operator aims to deliver the new mobile experience to nearly 2 million CDS account holders in Malaysia. The tide appears to be turning for Malaysian stocks as the biggest exodus of global funds since 2015 dissipates. According to Bloomberg, in its compiled data, overseas investors poured a net $84 million into the nation's stocks last week, the most since late January. It said the FTSE Bursa Malaysia KLCI index rebounded about half of this year's more than 5% loss that had made. Aureka Capital Sdn Bhd CEO Danny Wong said it is now the right time to buy as company earnings are unlikely to get any worse. Since the new government formed, more than $3 billion of foreign funds have flowed out of the market amid a public spending clampdown. However, the government is now easing its austerity drive and reviving large state projects. As at 5 p.m., the FBM KLCI ended at 1,651.2, down 4.27 points. And that wraps up Bizworld this time around. I'm Nadia Azmi. Thank you for investing your time with us.